You hear a trainee doctor telling his supervisor about a problem he had carrying out a procedure. So when he is carrying out a procedure, he had a problem. So now this problem, okay, the trainee feels the cause of the problem. The trainee feels that the cause of the problem was treatment administered previously. Noun is treatment. So noun is very important. The patient's negative reaction. So the patient is the problem. His negative reaction is the problem. The problem is with the patient. Inappropriate equipment. Equipment is the problem. So what is the problem? What is the cause of the problem? Is it the treatment was the problem? Earlier treatment affecting now? The patient's reaction. So the patient was not cooperating. Negative reaction. Equipment was inappropriate, not corrected equipment. So which is the problem here? Which is the cause of this problem? Problem came. There was a problem. The reason was what? Was it the treatment? Was it the patient? Was it the equipment? So that's how you have to analyze. Okay.
Part B. In this part of the test, you'll hear 6 different extracts. In each extract, you'll hear people talking in a different healthcare
patients, and it's distressing for them if the procedure isn't done quickly.
Oh, she endured it without a murmur. I'm sure I would have made a fuss in similar circumstances.
Well, I'll supervise you the next time you do it.
Question 30. You hear a doctor talking to a teenage boy who has... Question 29. You hear a trainee doctor telling his supervisor about a problem he had carrying out a procedure. Now read the question.
So how's today gone, Harry?
Well, I'm afraid I had a problem taking blood from Mrs. Harris. I've done that procedure numerous times now, so I wasn't particularly worried. What I hadn't anticipated was the difficulty finding a vein. I suspect her illness means she'll have had a number of cannulas inserted over the weeks she's been here, and that's led to collapsed veins.
Well, that can happen with long-term elderly patients, and it's distressing for them if the procedure isn't done quickly.
Oh, she endured it without a murmur. I'm sure I would have made a fuss in similar circumstances.
Well, I'll supervise you the next time you do it.
Question 30. You hear a doctor talking to a teenage boy who has a painful wrist. Now read the question. Question 30. You hear a doctor...
Now question number 29. I can't hear anything, so leave and come again. Is everyone able to hear the audio? Yes, that's enough. Oneness is enough. Yeah. So now let us see this one now. Yeah, question number 29. Submit your scores. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and submit. Yeah. So now, all of you have given yes, A. A is the right answer. Answer 29. A. Answer 29. A is the right answer. Okay, fine. Now let us see here very carefully. So, how are we going to analyze the question here? Well, supervisor is saying like this. How's today gone, Harry? Well, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Okay. I'm afraid. Yesterday I have told you, I'm afraid. So what's the meaning of I'm afraid? Okay. That means not fine. I'm afraid means something went wrong. Something serious thing happened. For example, can you come with me to the park? I'm afraid. I can't. That means not possible. Not possible. It's a serious problem. It's impossible. I'm afraid means it's impossible. So it was a great difficulty. So remember that. I am afraid, the phrase, remember that. I had a problem taking blood from Mrs. Harris. I had a problem taking blood from Mrs. Harris. I have done that procedure numerous times now. The same procedure, taking blood before. He was comfortable. Harry was comfortable. Why? Because he has done a number of times. And now, so I wasn't particularly worried. What I had not anticipated was the difficulty finding a vein. Number of times done. But he did not expect finding a vein was difficult. I suspect her illness. I suspect her illness. Okay. I suspect her illness means she will have had a number of cannulas inserted over the weeks she has been here. So she had some illness and she had a number of cannulas inserted before during this period of the stay. So because of that, the veins collapsed and he could not identify the vein. Okay, he could not identify the vein. So the treatment was given earlier. What? She had some illness. A number of cannulas were inserted during this period, during all these weeks. So this is a treatment given for some other sickness or disease or ailment. She was ill and she was given treatment. And during the part of the treatment, number of cannulas were inserted and the veins collapsed, and identifying the vein was difficult. That was what he did not expect. Okay. Well, that can happen with long-term elderly patients. And it is distressing for them if the procedure isn't done quickly. If the procedure isn't done quickly, it will be distressing for them. Okay. The problem occurred because of the patient's response. No, the patient response was because of the delay in the procedure. The problem was not because of the patient's response, but the patient's response was because of the delay in the procedure. Try to understand which is first, which is next. The patient did not react well, so the problem occurred. The patient did not react well, therefore the problem occurred. That is number one. The problem occurred, what is that delayed procedure? That's why patient will react wrong. And it is distressing for them. For them, he was not distressed, but they are imagining that if the procedure isn't done quickly, all the patients, if the procedure isn't done quickly, they will be feeling distressed. Okay, that negative reaction because of the procedure delay. Okay, because procedure delayed, negative reaction, not negative reaction and procedure problem. No, it's the other way around. So this is ruled out. Next, oh, she endured it without a murmur. So there was no negative reaction from the patient. Many patients react negatively, but this patient did not react. She endured it. She accepted this problem without a murmur. She did not say anything. She quietly surrendered. I'm sure I would have made a fuss in similar circumstances. Well, I'll supervise you the next time you do it. Well, I'll supervise you the next time you do it. Now, the options here are actually three things. So there are three things here. The first one is treatment administered previously. Earlier, there were some treatments. Because of the treatment, there was a problem. Yeah. So because of the sickness she had earlier, she was given some treatment and number of cannulas were inserted. Because of that, the vein collapsed and therefore the problem arises. She was not able to identify the vein. So that's right. The cause and effect, chain of reactions. Next one. So once again, what are the chain of reactions here? You should understand the chain of reactions. What went first, what went next, like that. She had sickness. Because of that sickness, she was given treatment. As a part of this treatment, number of cannulas were inserted. And because number of cannulas were inserted during this number of weeks, the vein collapsed. Because the vein collapsed, identifying the vein was difficult. Therefore, he could not complete the procedure and the procedure delayed. Now try to understand, this is the chain of reaction. So previous treatment impacted the present problem. Okay, next, number two. The patient's negative reaction. The patient's negative reaction. If the patient react negatively, most of the patients will react negatively. But did this patient react negatively? No. She endured it without a murmur. She did not say even a word. She was not upset with it. She was very comfortable. She did not react in a negative way. So that is ruled out. B is ruled out. Inappropriate equipment. What is that inappropriate equipment? Equipment means machinery, instruments, syringe, needle, and all, whatever it is, or cannulas. Were they inappropriate equipment? No. Nothing like that is discussed. Only cannulas were inserted earlier for part of treatment, but those who are inappropriate or not correct, nothing is there mentioned. So that is also ruled out. So ultimately, the A is the right answer. So you have to think about this. Which are the three nouns here? One is treatment, previous treatment. Yeah, that impacted. Yes, that's it. Vein collapsed because of this treatment and he could not identify the vein. So that's it. Second one is patient. Patient is the problem. Is the patient problem? In majority of the patients will become distressed. But this patient, she endured without a murmur. Endured without a murmur, without any complaint. She was very cooperating. So there is no negative reaction of the patient. The patient's negative reaction. Where is the negative reaction? She is very, very positive. She was very supportive. She did not speak even a word. So that's it. It's not negative reaction. Her reaction was positive. She was very supportive and very cooperative. Inappropriate equipment. Equipment was there. What are the equipment? What is the equipment? What is the equipment here? The equipment is cannula. Was it inappropriate? No, nothing was talked about appropriate or inappropriate. Number of cannulas were inserted, that's all. But whether they are good or inappropriate, nobody talked about it. So that is ruled out. Yes, that is the explanation. Next point. Question. Okay, fine. Was the explanation clear enough? Yeah. Just give a yes or a no. Next, we'll move on to the question number 30. Yes, please. Dr. Swati Nemade, happy Teacher's Day. Thank you. Right. So 2 students have responded. Very good. Thank you. Next one, question number 30. Yes. Yes. So question number 30. No problem, Rabi. Yeah. Yeah, question number 30. Go through this question number 30. You have to identify how it is trifurcated. I'm going to show you. There also I showed you. Problem with the previous treatment. So treatment is the problem. Patient's negative reaction. Patient is the problem. Inappropriate equipment. Equipment is the problem. So treatment, patient, equipment. Treatment given by doctor, patient or patient, the person who is being treated. Treatment provided by the doctor, equipment. So like that, here also you have to identify. Yes. Right. So, you hear a doctor talking to a teenage boy. So a doctor is talking to a teenage boy, and this boy has a painful wrist. Right. The doctor wants to establish, confirm, diagnose, come to a decision whether a fracture may be misaligned. A fracture may be misaligned. A fracture may be misaligned. One fracture. The swelling may be due to a sprain. The swelling may be due to a sprain. A sprain means zero fracture. No fracture, just a sprain and a swelling. A fracture may be misaligned. That means one fracture misaligned. A fracture may be misaligned, one fracture. The swelling may be due to a sprain. That means no fracture. There may be more than one. Bone affected. That means more than one fracture. more than one bone. This bone has been affected, this bone has been affected, more than one bone has been affected. Bone affecting means what? Fracture only. Okay. Try to understand. So, first one is one fracture. Second one is no fracture. Third one is 1 plus fracture. 1 fracture, 0 fracture, 1 plus fractures. 1 plus means more than 1. So now listen very carefully. So this is related to the number.
And that's led to collapsed veins.
Well, that can happen with long-term elderly patients, and it's distressing for them if the procedure isn't done quickly.
Oh, I mean, she endured it without a murmur.
Hmm.
I'm sure I would have made a fuss in similar circumstances.
Well, I'll supervise you the next time you do it.
Question 30. You hear a doctor talking to a teenage boy who has a painful wrist. Now read the question.
Now then, I understand you fell off your skateboard some days ago and injured your wrist. Is that right?
Yes, I slipped and put my hand out to save myself. My mum says I've sprained it.
You certainly got some swelling and bruising there. But I don't think your mum's right in this case. Does your wrist hurt?
It aches, but the pain's worse when I try to grip something.
Right, well, I suspect you've broken what's called your scaphoid bone. It's a classic injury resulting from what you describe. I can't feel any other fractures. But you'll need an X-ray to see where the two ends of the bone are. If they're not meeting up properly, you'll need an operation to sort that out. But let's see the results first.
Okay.
That is the end of Part B. Now look at Part C.
Question 30. Submit your answers. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and submit. Yeah. Answer question 30 is right. Question number 30 is this. Yeah. That is the answer. That is the answer. Yes. The answer for this question is A. All right. Now, how many people wrote the answer? A. Muttu Lakshmi and Rabil. Only 2 right answers. That's okay. Right. Now let us discuss. So here, listen very carefully. The doctor is talking to a teenage boy. Yeah. Now, then, I understand you fell off your skateboard some days ago and injured your wrist. Is that right? Injured your wrist. Yes. I slipped and put my hand out to save myself. I put my hand out to save myself. My mom says I've sprained it. You have certainly got some swelling and bruising there. You have certainly got some swelling and bruising there. Yes, but ruled out. I don't think your mom's right in this case. It's not spraining. It's not sprained. There is certainly some swelling and bruising. But I don't think your mom's right in this case. That means you have not sprained it. You have not sprained it. Does your wrist hurt? Does your wrist hurt? It aches. It aches. Yeah, it hurts. But it hurts. But the pain's worse when I try to grip something. When I try to grip something, it's worse. Okay. More pain. It's worse. Bad, worse, worst. Comparative degree. When compared to ordinary times, especially when you grip something, it hurts more. It's worse. Right. Well, I suspect you have broken. I suspect you have broken what's called your scaphoid bone. Bone. One bone. One bone. I suspect you have broken what is called one. You have broken one. You have broken one bone, and that bone is called a scaphoid bone. Bone, not bones. Try to understand classic style. What is called is singular. I suspect you have broken what is called. Is singular, not what are called. Is what is called. Is singular. That means one. Called your scaphoid bone. Bone. Bone is singular. So one bone. It's a classic injury resulting from what you describe. I can't feel any other fractures. There is no second fracture. There is only one fracture. I can't feel any other fractures. See, very clearly he's telling you. Very clearly he's telling you. But you'll need an X-ray to see where the two ends of the bone are. Where the two ends of the bone are. One end is wrist. Okay, here some bone. where the two ends of the bone are. So two bones maybe. This bone, two ends of the bone. Okay. If you take here, so many bones are there. So wrist, this particular wrist. So one bone from here to here maybe. Okay. So where they are, you need an X-ray to see where the two ends of the bone are. One end is here and another end is somewhere here. Suppose, or this bone or bones here, 1, 2 connecting. So which bone? One bone is connecting here and one bone is connecting to the other part. Then where they are, we have to see an X-ray where they are. If they are not meeting up, so this bone should meet here, this bone should meet here. If they are not meeting up, okay, they're not well connected. They're not well connected. Connected means aligned. Alignment. What do you mean by alignment? Stand in a line is called alignment. When you go for movie tickets, you stand in a line. When you get into a train, you stand in a line. When you get into a bus, you stand in a line. That's called queue. That is called alignment. A systematic manner is called alignment. A systematic manner is called alignment. Okay. If they are not meeting up properly, so if they are meeting up properly, it is called alignment. If they're not meeting up properly, that means they are misaligned. They're not aligned properly, misaligned. If they're not meeting up properly, you will need an operation to sort that out. That means you have to make an operation and you have to set it right, align it properly. But let's see the results first. So now, if we take the questions, yeah, a fracture may be misaligned. A fracture may be misaligned. Yes. They're not meeting properly. Misalignment. The Q is not in a proper line. It is misalignment. A fracture. There are no other fractures. I cannot see any other fracture, means no second fracture. It's only one fracture. Scaphoid bone. Very clear. How can we make this mistake? How can we make this mistake? So many hints are given. The swelling may be due to a sprain. No, your mom's not right. Okay. So, yeah. But I don't think your mom's right. I don't think your mom's right. Your mom is right. I don't think so. That means your mom is wrong. That means it is not sprain. See how it is rerouted. My mom says I have got a sprain. I don't think your mom's right. That means I think your mom's wrong. That means it's not sprain. That means it's something else. It's not just sprain, it's a fracture. It's a fracture. It's a fracture. It's not a sprain, it's a fracture. What is called? Fracture of what is called? Is called singular. A scaphoid bone, singular. I don't see any other fracture. I don't feel any other fracture. I can't feel any other fractures. Any other, only one scaphoid bone. I can't see any other fracture. That means no second fracture. So 1 or no or 1 plus. 1 plus is wrong. No is also wrong. Is one fracture. Scaphoid bone fracture. It may be misaligned. So be very careful. This is how you lose your marks. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll definitely send Rabil. That's fine. So, it's already 9 o'clock. So, listening session, we had 2 questions. Okay. So, grade the session. Don't tell excellent or all these things. I don't want. How beneficial it was. Grade the session. How beneficial according to the benefit. Okay. According to the benefit, grade it 0 to 100%. It's percent. 0 to 100%. How beneficial was the session? If you feel that it is not beneficial, then we'll avoid this style and we'll try to. Okay. We'll try to take another one. There's another session, reading session today. Now I'm going to ask you one thing. Shall we take part C reading? First of all, you give your feedback, then I'll say part C listening or part C reading. So come on, give your feedback fast. So now we are going to part C. So now the option here is, you want part C listening or part C reading? Any one option you have to give. Okay. Part C listening or part C reading? Okay. I'm pausing the audio. Okay. Sorry, not video. Oh, sorry. Muttu, count the number of listening. People who are interested in listening. Count number. And Sandhya, count the number of people who say reading. Only Sandhya says, Kiran also, Manjula also, okay. 5 people say and listening. Then what about reading? What about reading? Only 3. Okay. So first we'll take listening part C, then we'll take reading part B, part C, according to the priority. So one session part C, then we'll go for part C reading. I think that will be fine. So more people are there, part C listening, so we'll take part C. So we have 15 minutes break. 15 minutes break. New link will be sent. New link will be sent. Okay. New link will be sent. New link will be sent. This is part C. Okay, 15 minutes. So 21:20, 15 minutes from now. 9:20. Take from now. It is 21:05. So from now onwards, 15 minutes. Okay. So I'll send you a new link. That will be part C. Chagas disease, I think. Yeah. Part C, Chagas disease. I think, yeah. Chagas, yeah. Chagas disease, yes. So we are going to part C, Chagas disease. Yeah. Then next we have occupational therapist. So now I am going to ask you one thing. I'm going to ask you one thing. Yes, some students already left. Very good, very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So no problem. We'll say Chagas disease. Okay. Right. Among those students who are here now, 6 students, I am going to do an extended session. An extended session. I don't know when I'm going to stop. How many of you are going to extend your session with me? Okay. Those students who want to spend your extended session with me, you can just type. If you want, you can say, tomorrow I will take leave, sir, or tomorrow I want to be free, sir. Even if I have duty, I will be with you, sir. Whatever it is. Because I'm going to take part C. Complete part C. Part C reading and part C listening. 2 part C sessions we have. One is Chagas and occupational therapist. And then we have reading. So I'll see how it goes. Right, only Roja is there. Yeah. So that's it. So Muthu is there. Then Joji is there. Then Rojia is there. 3 students are there. Then Manjula says I'm there till 12 a.m. Right? So 4 students are there. I don't know how much time I'm going to take. Right. This is a very, very special demo session for the new batch students. Okay. So I'm going to extend the session. Be with me and be my guest. Thank you.